Hey everyone, it's Tom from thisonlineworld.com. I hope everyone's having a great day. Times can be tough as a college student. In my last video, I shared 10 different ways you can make money as a student, but today we're going to look at 10 different ways you can save money as a student. If you're a struggling college student or you're about to enter college and you're kind of worried about your finances, this is the video for you. Without further ado, let's get right to the video. If there's one thing that's true, it's that it doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or a broke college student, you cannot out-earn bad spending habits. I mean, if you think about it, this is why we have examples of millionaire athletes or musicians going bankrupt all the time. When money is tight, it's especially important to cut down on spending where you can and to maximize your savings rate. So for college students living paycheck to paycheck or on a very tight budget, saving money is definitely the most powerful thing you can do that will immediately benefit your finances. Like I mentioned in my last video, obviously making money is great, and my friends and I in college used a variety of side hustles and jobs to kind of get by. However, today we're going to be sharing 10 different ways you can cut down on monthly expenses. I'm going to be including some kind of fundamental practices you should be implementing, as well as some out-of-the-box ideas that you're not really going to find a lot of publications or other bloggers talking about. So like I said, if you're struggling to save money as a student or you're about to enter college and you're worried, take a look at this video. It's going to help you out. Idea number one for how you can actually save money in college is to just look at your tuition breakdown. If you go online and check your tuition breakdown, most colleges or universities are pretty transparent about where every dollar goes. So you'll see things like paying for infrastructure, you're paying for, I don't know, some random club on campus. There's a complete breakdown of where every dollar goes. One of the things that's interesting is there's usually two things you can opt out of as a college student. The first is dental coverage and the second is optical coverage. If you're already covered for dental or optical through a parent, or maybe you have a job that gives you coverage, there's no need to pay twice for that coverage. A lot of universities or colleges actually let you opt out of that coverage, but a lot of students don't know this is an option. What I did during my first year of college was I opted out of dental, and that took about $200 off of my annual tuition bill. If you factor that cost in for your 4 or 5 years of college, you just saved $1,000 for pretty much submitting a form, standing in line, and then saying you don't want dental or optical. So it's one of the easiest ways to save money. Make sure you look at your tuition breakdown and don't pay for things you don't actually need. Idea number two for how to save money as a college student is to create and follow a frugal meal plan. Honestly, this has so many different benefits besides just saving you money, but I'm going to focus on the money part because that's what this video is about. If you're like a lot of college students and like me in my first year, college comes with the realization that you have to cook for yourself and kind of be an adult for pretty much the first time in your life. Once you realize you can't eat craft dinner for every meal, that begs the question, okay, what do I cook for lunch? What do I cook for dinner? Do I eat breakfast? You know, how do I keep myself fed? Honestly, a lot of students struggle with this in college because in first year, maybe you live on campus and you have a meal plan or a meal card, or you just eat out all the time. And then the second you live in a college house with some friends and you don't have that easy access to food, it's kind of tricky to know what to cook all the time. Honestly, the worst thing you can do for your wallet and your health is to eat out and to keep ordering food in, or to just eat frozen meals or live off of craft dinner. So cooking is important.
Salmon crispy as fuck on the bottom. Beef in it. It's crispy skin. Damn.
However, as a student, money's kind of tight and you might not have enough time to cook gourmet meals. So you have to strike that balance between frugality and nutrition and, you know, not eating craft dinner or eating out of a Hungry Man box every night. During college, my roommate actually kind of came up with this meal plan and I followed it. It was the most frugal, well-balanced thing we could come up with, and it went something kind of like this. Breakfast, we would have eggs and some form of fruit, so we have like an apple or banana. Lunch, we would have chicken or fish with roasted vegetables and some form of carbs, so you're looking at rice or sweet potatoes or normal potatoes or maybe pasta. Dinner would just be a repeat of lunch. Our grocery bill was basically like 15, 20 items. You know, we'd mix in like yogurt and some extra fruits, maybe some orange juice, but that was pretty much it. This had a number of benefits for us. One, it lets you buy in bulk. So as soon as you know, okay, here are the 15 or 20 ingredients I need for my month, you can go to a wholesale club or you can shop on student discount days at your local grocery store if that's something that your college town has. And you just buy in bulk. Buy what's on sale, you freeze it, and you take advantage of, you know, bulk shopping at wholesale clubs, and that really saves you a lot of money per semester. Another thing you can do is you can cook in bulk. If you have the same meals consistently throughout the week or the month, you can cook in bulk, freeze them, and that drastically reduces the likelihood you're gonna, you know, order a pizza at 2 in the morning when you come home from the bar. I'm gonna link a simple meal plan template you can follow. Again, keep things simple, it'll save you time and money, and it's really, really good for your health and your wallet. Idea number three for saving money in college is to actually budget. It is so incredibly easy not to budget when you don't have a lot of income. I made that mistake too. During college, my first year and second year, I wasn't really tracking my spending because honestly, I wasn't making that much. So it kind of felt embarrassing and awkward, and it wasn't pleasant to look at my monthly spending when everything was in the red. Since I turned a blind eye to where my money was going, I didn't notice some of the risk categories, I'll call them, where I was spending a lot of my money each month. If you're like me or most students, there's probably two categories where most of your discretionary spending goes. The first is eating out, like I mentioned in the point above, and the second is alcohol. If you don't budget, you will never be able to track trends before they develop into bad habits. All you need is a simple Excel spreadsheet, or there's a myriad of free budgeting apps out there. You can use Mint, you can use You Need a Budget, they have a free college plan. I'm going to link both of those down below as well. What I did was I kept things simple. I had an Excel spreadsheet, I kept every receipt, and at the end of every month I would track how much I spent, look for those risk categories like I mentioned, and I worked on improving that habit over time. It sounds like a really menial thing, especially when you're not making that much income, if any, but it's truly important for staying on top of your finances. It's probably one of the most important financial skills you can develop in college as well, because this doesn't go away once you get a job and once you're out of school. Idea number 4 for how to save money in college, I just mentioned alcohol as a spending problem, so idea number 4 relates to being smart at bars. I'm not here to say that going to bars is bad or that you can't have fun without alcohol, because we both know those are not true. However, spending money recklessly at bars is just an absolute recipe for disaster for your health and for your finances. So this is kind of those out of the box tips I was talking about. The first tip here is just not to go to the bar too early. I understand when you turn 19 in Canada or you turn 21 in the States, it's exciting. You can finally go to bars if you've never had a fake ID. All you want to do is go to the bar every Friday and Saturday as early as you can, stay there all night, and close the place down. Do that once or twice, but do not do that every single weekend. The second you're in a bar, you have no choice but to buy drinks, and if you go there from like 10 p.m. until 2 in the morning, that is just an absolute disaster waiting to happen. What my friends and I did in college was we would show up early to bars, we would get like a stamp or wristband, pay our cover and be allowed in the bar, and then we would just go home. We'd beat the line, then we'd go to a nearby friend's house, have a beer and relax, and we'd show up at the bar at like 11:30 or midnight. Another trick we use, and this is really like a tip that's designed for degenerates, is we would sneak a flask in, and this is a great way to, 1, drink in the bathroom like a degenerate, and 2, to save money. A flask is like $7 from Amazon. You can just bring it in with you at the bar. If they take it, whatever, you're out $7. Yeah, we did this from like second year until the end of college. As cheap as that sounds, it really saved us a lot of money. And with the money you do end up spending at the bar, you can actually buy drinks you like, and you can tip your bartenders who are probably students, so it's kind of a win-win. I know it's a bit sleazy, but out of the box money saving idea for you. Idea number 5 for how to save money as a student is to know your tenant rights. One of the shocking realizations I had as a student was how slimy some landlords can be and how they want to take students for a ride. So in college, our landlord was a bit of a psychopath. We almost went to small claims court with him. My roommates and I were not ideal tenants by any means, but he definitely tried to take advantage of us financially in a few ways. One example is we were paying for a water heater rental bill, not the water heater or utility bill, the rental bill, for about a year until we looked at the bill more closely and realized we're paying for this dude's rental fees. This is his fault for not buying it, not ours. We are not on the hook for that. So eventually we terminated that arrangement. He wanted us to pay for a broken fridge that had been broken long before we moved in, junk removal for the old tenant, for a washing and dryer machine when they broke, but they were like 15 years old each. From talking with a lot of other students and people I know, their landlords try similar things. So whatever you do, read your tenant rights in your specific city or state and know them to a T. Chances are your landlord's a decent person, but on the off chance they try to sneak in a charge or some fees on you, it's important to know what you have to pay for and what you don't have to pay for. Take half an hour, read your rights, and honestly this change will save you hundreds of dollars potentially down the line. Idea number 6 for how to save money as a college student is to not buy textbooks. This is a bit of a weird one too, because when you go into your first year of college, you're kind of in the mode of like anything your college professor says is gospel, but this isn't actually the case. If a professor tells you to buy a textbook, pause and consider the following 3 questions. Question 1, how often do you actually need this textbook? Are you going to use it every single day, or do you just need it for maybe an assignment or 2? If you only need it once in a while, you can probably rent it from the library, or you can split the cost of the textbook with a friend or 2, and you just each take turns using it for that, off chance you have to open it. Second question you have to ask is if an older edition will work. A lot of college professors are kind of in cahoots with textbook publishing companies from what I understand. They always tell you to buy the newest edition, the hard copy that costs $200. Ask online or ask your professor honestly if you can use an older edition. It's so much easier to either download an older edition for free online by using a website like Reddit to kind of dig around, or you can just buy a used softcover copy from ABE Books or Amazon or some other marketplace, and that saves you hundreds of dollars. Finally, if a textbook is just designed to teach you something you could easily learn online, just don't buy it. I made the stupid mistake of buying an SPSS tutorial book for my psych class, which literally just taught you how to use the software SPSS. Guess what? There's hundreds of free guides out there on how to use SPSS. The textbook was not needed. I never opened it, and I was out $125. Ask yourself those 3 questions. If you don't need a textbook, don't buy it. You'll save a lot of money in the long run. Idea number 7 for how to save money in college is to delete temptation. Everyone has a subscription or app on their phone or something that they know they shouldn't have. In college, one of my best friends, he went through an epic battle with the app Just Eats. The struggle between, do I order things from Just Eats or do I not order things from Just Eats? And inevitably, it wasn't great for his wallet. I did the same thing with pizza for a while in second year. I had friends who did the same thing with the Uber Eats app. The key here is honestly just delete your account and to delete the app from your phone. You might not think this works, but picture yourself coming home from the bar at 2 in the morning, realizing your account is deactivated. You have to install the app, you have to create a new account all over again. Frankly, you're just not going to do it. On top of that, don't hoard posters on your fridge of all the weekly pizza deals in town. Keep your fridge clean, delete the apps off your phone, and just get rid of temptation to spend money where you don't have to. Obviously, you can have fun sometimes. I'm not saying to never order out or to never have bar food or anything like that. But if you struggle with money and it's something you're not able to control yourself, do yourself a favor and just get rid of temptation altogether. It'll really help your wallet out. So tip number 8 for how to save money in college is to not overpack. Typically, anybody going in their first year of college or moving into their first student home and out of residence is going to overpack by a long shot. Trust me when I say you're not going to use that fancy French press or that egg McMuffin maker you're bringing from home. Realistically, you're in for 4 to 5 years of sleep deprivation and long hours, and that fancy kitchen gadget or whatever you're bringing from home is going to be the last thing on your mind. I'm going to link 2 different useful college packing lists, one for girls and one for guys, down in the description box. Keep things simple. Don't overspend when you're coming out of high school into your first year of college or when you're moving into your first student house. It's honestly a waste of money and you're better off living a kind of minimalist student life, if you will. Idea number 9 for how to save money as a college student is to negotiate your bills. I know college living can kind of be tough if you're moving around a lot and you have housemates coming in and coming out, but if you're in the unique scenario where you end up staying in the same college house for a few years, you're actually in a really strong position where you can negotiate your bills. The bill I'm talking about specifically is your internet bill. Companies have student promo deals all the time, and because college students move around so much, internet companies know this and they try to push new deals and new packages on new college houses. If you've lived in the same one for a while and you've been stuck with the same company for a few years, you can just call them and say, hey, I see there's another promo going on from your competitor. We're going to switch to them unless you can give us a better rate. We never did this in college, and in hindsight, it was such a waste of money because we were paying a premium rate for our internet despite being loyal customers for 4 years. This is also a great way to save money when you're older, and it's good to get in the habit of calling your different subscription services or internet provider every few months to see if you can get a better deal. Moral of the story here is this is just a quick way to save money. It might be a half-hour phone call at most, and you might end up saving $20, $30 a month. Idea number 10 for how to save money as a college student is just to embrace student life. This is a bit more of a personal note, but I think it's important nevertheless to keep in mind, especially as you reach the end of your degree. When I was in college, I rushed through my degree as fast as I could. I took extra courses, I worked during summer, and I graduated a year early. By the end of my degree, I also had a full-time job, and I moved out of my student house into a fancy apartment because I felt the need to, be an adult. There's nothing wrong with getting a job while you're in school or even moving into a nicer place, but you have to make sure your finances can support it and that you're doing it for the right reason. I went from living in a $400 a month student house with my best friends to living in some schwanky apartment for twice the cost, and it honestly wasn't even the best arrangement. Again, nothing wrong with moving, nothing wrong with getting a full-time job, but ask yourself if you want to make the change and what the reasons are. You really only get a few years of your life to live with your best friends and to be an idiot and to kind of live in squalor. I'm not saying, you have to be a kid forever or a student and that taking on responsibilities isn't a good idea. I highly recommend finishing your degree early to save money on tuition and to work a job during school. Yeah. But again, don't think you need to buy a new car or move into a fancy apartment or dramatically upgrade your life and spend more money each month the second you're out of school just because it's what you should be doing. When you are ready to make a change, make sure it's for the right reasons and make sure it's fiscally responsible. Well, there you have it. I know college is an incredibly expensive time and it's really tough for a lot of students, and that's why I've made this 2-part video series on how you can make money in college and save money in college. I think it's really important to boost your income as a college student by, applying for scholarships, working a side hustle, or working a campus job. However, it's also impossible to get ahead and to save money if you don't have your bases covered. Live frugally, stick to a budget, and don't rush out of student life. The longer you can minimize your costs while slowly boosting your income, the better your wallet is going to be. You're going to deal with so much financial stress and be in a way better position in your early 20s. One more thing, don't forget to have some fun along the way. I know I'm making videos about saving money in college or making money as a student and how you should hustle and work hard, which is true, but still, you only have so much time to live like a student. You should make the most out of it, and don't forget to enjoy yourself along the way. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a favorite way you save money in college or an old college saving hack you remember if you're out of college right now, let me know what it is. I'd love to hear how you guys are cutting costs as students these days. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm putting out more videos as fast as I can alongside my content on thisonlineworld.com. And of course, don't forget to check out thisonlineworld.com for more unique ways to make and save more money. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.